Welcome back, everyone. Warm wishes to all present in the class. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Great. Few quick updates. Uh, Tomorrow we don't have class. Update number one and update number two. Monday we will have a project meeting. Okay. We shall discuss one project on Monday's class. These two things you recall. Okay, everyone. So we are under the microservices. Two more topics I would like to discuss before I proceed with the API gateway, which is about Redis cache memory, which is Redis server. About the cache memory and how to integrate this with the Spring Boot application. Okay, how Redis server can be integrated with the Spring Boot, and then we have one more associated concepts: Apache, Kafka. Yes, API gateway is also there. Routing, filtering, circuit breaker pattern, retry pattern. These things are also there. It's a part of our journey. We shall be discussing it. Okay. Those who have joined little late, for them the update is tomorrow there is no class. You can plan accordingly. Friday there is no class, and Monday there is a project meeting. Make sure all of you are there. All right. Now, guys, can anyone tell me what is cache memory? First of all, cache memory, is it a permanent storage place where we can store the data, or is it secondary or temporary storage? It is temporary storage. Yes. Where we store the data temporarily. Where data will be stored temporarily and data will be represented in the form of key value pair. Key value pair. Why it is used? Any idea, anyone? Quick access. Sandhya Rajat says quick access. To keep low DB hits, number one. Minimize DB hits, reduce DB calls. Almost all of you are answering correctly. As you all already said, to reduce number of database calls from our application. If you reduce number of database call, increase, performance of your application will be increase, or performance of your application will get decreases of our application. My dear friends, in the project also, our team has implemented this. On Monday also we'll try to show you. Okay. See, whenever you have an application, right, any application, Spring Boot especially, or Java or any other stack application also, we have an application which is Java based application. Getting connected to a database is one of the crucial part of any application these days. You have to get connected very often to store the data, to retrieve the data. In the database, we have two types of tables. Number one is a static table. Number two is a dynamic table, non-static table, which is dynamic. What do you mean by that? Dynamic table means very often the data inside the table will change. Example, if someone is registering, whatever registration details is there, that will be stored in the dynamic table, because every time someone registers in that table, a new data is getting added. That means some changes are constantly happening. Someone can delete that record. Someone can update that record. It's not just about the retrieval. In that table, update is also common operation, delete is also common operation, and the insertion is also common operation. Such table is a dynamic non-static table. Sometimes inside the table we keep such a data which will not be changed very often. A data will be fixed and kept, which is common for all the end users of our application. Examples, guys. Most of the country's code number, India's country's number for mobile phone number starts from +91, right? And maybe the names of the countries. Sometimes when you visit the application, only if you, even if you go for the registration also, you will get the option wherein you can scroll the names of the country. You can scroll the code, phone number, starting code number, from where you have to enter. All of that is a data only, right? Do you all agree? Names of the countries which are coming to you, that is also data. City names, that is also data only. Data means, are they hard coding in the application, guys, in the front end or in the back end? All the 200 plus country names, thousands of city names, are they hard coding it, developers? No, right? That means that is coming from the database only. Now, for all the end users of our application, every end user, do you think the country names, city names, phone number, code, all of that will be common only? Yes, every time they're visiting our website, if you're able to display this data, that means for every user, if they come to the application, you're going to the database collecting the country name. If 1 lakh users are there, in 1 lakh time going to the database collecting it, do you think the DB hits are more here? That means your Java application going outside of its scopes, going to the database. Database is present in some other server. That means one application coming out of its server, going to one more system, one more computer, one more server where database is there. Opening the doors of your Java application, going there, fetching the details, coming back for every user. Is it a costly process? All of you agree on this? Costliness is not with respect to financial. It will affect the performance of your application. The number of DB calls are more here. In that case, what you can do is you can have a memory, cache memory. Okay. So what happens here in this case, for the first time when you just visit the website, whoever visits, once the application is deployed, for the first time it will fetch the details and keep in the cache memory. And for all the end users of the application, if they want country names, that is not coming from the database, that is coming from the cache memory. Are you getting it? In that case, performance of an application will increase. Today also, I will just demonstrate how Spring Boot can get connected to cache servers such as Redis cache and how we can perform some of the operations. Spring Boot plus Redis servers integration and how we can perform 1 or 2 operations, I'll show you. But apart from that, that implementation also our team is trying to do, and that will be done. And Monday we shall discuss the project, guys. Monday, it's a project discussion, very important class, don't miss. And tomorrow, there is no class. Friday, tomorrow, there is no class. Okay. I'll say here, performance of an application will increase. Are you understanding the context, guys? Why it is getting used? Yes, no, maybe. So what is the end goal right now? We are trying to achieve. We will develop one Spring Boot application. Great. That Spring Boot application, we will try to connect to Redis and perform some operations. Okay. Now, whenever you have to develop the application which can communicate with Redis server, few important components uses here. Few important components we use. Number one, Redis connection factory. Redis connection factory, which is used to connect with Redis server, represents connection with Redis server. If your Spring Boot application has to get connected to Redis server to implement the cache memory, Redis is what used. Remember this term, Redis connection factory. Once you could able to get connected, like we have a shortcut for the JDBC template we have, right? We have Kafka template, JDBC template, and REST template. Similar to that, we also have something called as Redis template. Whenever you want to, once connections, your Spring Boot application is able to get connected to Redis cache memory. If you want to perform any of the operations, which component we use? It is Redis template. And using the Redis template, we have to get hold of one of the important component. Name of the component is ops for hash. Using the Redis template, get hold of ops for hash. Using ops for hash inside this object, inside this component, there are many methods to perform the operation. If you want to put the data inside the Redis cache memory, put method. If you want to fetch the data, get method. If you want to retrieve all entries, if you want to delete something, delete method. Like this, all the methods are there which are part of ops for hash component that will get hold to you if you get Redis template. So basically the major part is Redis template is used to perform any of the operations. And using the Redis templates, we get a hold of ops for hash. Using the methods present inside the ops for hash, we perform the operation. Now, two important major components, if you ask me, for your Spring Boot application to get connected to Redis server and perform the operation is Redis connection factory and Redis template. All good, everyone present in the class, my dear friends? Yes, no, maybe. Any issues to anyone? Let me see. I had kept one file where you can download the Redis server. If I could hold of this. If not, you can just go to official website also. Okay. And I'll just go here. Redis cache, guys. Go to official website. Okay. You can see the names which is mentioned, guys, here. A fast, highly available, resilient, scalable caching layer. Now for caching memory implementation, guys, Redis is not the only option. We have so many caching memories available, and some of them will go with different ones based on the collaborations of their companies. But the most common one which we use very often is Redis to implement the cache memory in your applications. Redis is something very this thing. You can use for free also, but for all the facilities you may have to pay. Okay, and so many things it is giving you the information. With caching, guys, data stored in slower databases can achieve in sub million seconds performance. This helps to respond to the need of real-time applications. But not all cache can power machines critical applications. Many of may fall the short of gold. But Redis is best is what they are trying to say. And this is one of the most used caching memory. Okay, see here, from your application, what happens from the database, Redis cache will go to database, will keep the memory within itself, and from the Redis cache only the memory will go to the application for the end users. Okay. So you can explore this, and there are so many videos to download the Redis server. I was also trying to search the link which I have with me, from where you can download it easily without any problem. If I could able to get that link, I'll be really happy. Let me just see if we can get it. Not here. Let me see. I had documented. All right. All right. Okay, no problem, guys. Uh, you can just randomly follow any of the things, resources, and you can also get it. That should not create a major problem. Okay, all good. If not, I'll just try to share the link by the end of the class. If you could able to find, that will be really great. Okay, now, guys, which component performs the methods to perform the operations with the Redis server? Can anyone tell me? And I could see there is a difference of number of crowd. I don't know why at 7:30 so many joins. For them, just an update. Tomorrow no class. Monday project discussion. Okay. REST template, guys. Three important. This is not REST, guys. This is Redis. To establish the connection, which component? To perform the operations Redis, and using the Redis, which component you have to get hold of this? Ops for hash. Inside this only the methods are available, using which you can perform all the operations. Done? Yes, no, maybe. I'll go here, go to the Spring initializer. I will refresh this. Yes, you'll get to know now whether it is interface at the class. We can open and check. Okay. Com.telescope. I will say here Redis Spring Boot application. Guys, a new Java course has been launched at Telescope, wherein two things are extra. See, every batch we are launching, we add some extra content. Okay. every batch we add. You can let your friends know. All of you are now versatile enough to understand any other components of Spring framework by yourself also, because it is an ocean. For upcoming batch, two things are extra compared to this batch. Number one, we are planning to teach the Java features up to Java 24 in that batch. Okay. First change compared to this batch. Second, whatever we have taught here, that will be there only. Apart from that, one extra addition also is generative AI and the Spring AI module, which is introduced. We shall be discussing Spring AI also in upcoming Java batch. And you can also refer to your friends. And for you guys, need not to worry. I'm also in the process of recording my Udemy course on the Spring AI, and that link will be given to you. January it will be ready, and once the course is launched, all the students who are a part of me, you can stay connected with me, and I'll be sharing you the free Zoom links. You need not, I mean, Udemy links. You need not to pay for it. Okay, I'll be giving you. You need not worry on that. If you have learned any of the classes from me for my Udemy courses, you please don't pay it. You just ping me on the LinkedIn also. I'll be sharing you the free links. Okay. Never pay to it. Just to create, guys, REST API endpoints, we have this. Number one. Number two is, in fact, the batch which we have launched DevOps for AWS, the actual fees is, it's supposed to be more than 20K for the content which is being provided there. And we have kept it 12,000, but Naveen sir and we decided that let's go with 50% off for our existing students. 5,000-6,000 I think anyone can afford if they want to learn it. Comparatively, the fees in the market which is there for live course. Okay. Guys, we have something called as Redis data, Spring data Redis. Are you able to see this? Spring data Redis. Try to add this. Okay. Try to add this dependency also. DevTools for auto reloading. All right. And I would like to just generate this project. This project will be generated. I'll get back here and I'll go back to my downloads. Take this project from here. Go back to Spring Data. Everything. Yes. It's a little more than that. I'll talk on the prompt engineering also. Entire module of Spring AI, that plus something extra. Because see, current trend of industry, everyone is knowing, everyone, they may agree, they may not no agree with it, but all of us have one vibe that if we detach ourselves with AI, all of us going to suffer. Do you all agree on this? Can we be so much detached completely out of the AI? It's not possible. You have to know it. You have to know it. Okay. So that is the reason learning generative AI for the existing developers is critical right now. You need not to, develop AI model. That's not needed right now. At least you should know how to use whatever is being built with it. Yes. See, many things are there. That's a different case. The work on AI had started in 1990s. One separate building was dedicated in the Harvard University, but it was banned for 15 years. Then again they restarted it. So there is many things about it, but we are not asking like everyone if becomes how to develop AI module, then who is the one who's going to develop the applications using those AI models. So even if suppose ChatGPT is giving you Java code, but can you understand, guys? I'll ask my ChatGPT to create one student management application. It is giving you a basic CRUD operation application. But can you understand if you don't know Spring Framework, Data's API, RESTful services? Can you understand that code? It's not possible. Even to understand, you should know, right? So it's not like it's outdated, like you should not be learning it. But what is there, you should also learn about it. That's it. I'm importing, guys. I will discuss one application, Suresh, next week. Okay. I will develop one application also. It's not so difficult. It's just that few things are different there. Okay. For other batches I have done. For this batch I have missed out, but I will do it. All right. Guys, the application is ready here. Apart from that, we should be adding few more dependencies here. What dependencies I will tell you. Where is the application? This is the application. This is our pom.xml. We may have to add few more dependencies. I'll talk on those dependencies. And here in the configuration, nothing much you have to do for now. I will just go back here and I will say here server.port equals to maybe 8484, whatever port number you want. Apart from this, I'll go back here and I'll create some packages. First of all, what data I would like to work with, I'll specify within the model class, within the model package. What is the model on which I want to develop this application? I want to create the REST APIs, controllers, endpoints, for which I'll create one package called as REST. I'll say right click. I'll create one package. I'll say dot REST. Okay. I'll go back here. I would like to go back here and I'll say dot. I will say service. I'll go back here and some configurations. I'll say dot config. Great. What is the type of data I would like to work with? I'll go back here and say right click, new. I will create a class here. I will say here class name is country. I want to work on this. Whenever you're performing, getting connected to Redis, right, guys, it should be serialized object. Behind the scene, the objects will travel from the Redis server to application. And what is getting used is, if you ask me, it should be serialized. If not, you'll get the exceptions. I would like to just first only implement serializable. But before I implement, let's try without this and see. I'll just generate some properties, guys. I'll say here private integer type of number. I'll say private string type of name. I'll say here private string type of country code, uh, whatever it is, country number, country name, country code. How much ever fields you want, you can add. I would like to stop it till here itself. Okay, everyone. Let me go back here. I'll say right click. I'll say source, generate to string method. Generate the constructors. If in case I have to manually add some values, it will be helpful. This is done. All good. I would like to just go back to my service layer. I will say here, I know code to interface we have to create, but directly I will just add it here. Country, I'll say here service. Okay. Within this, I will say service. And here is where I will be writing the operations. Okay, now. I would like to save this. Now I would like to go to the configuration. I will say here, create a new class. Name of the class, I'll say here, Redis config. Name of the class is Redis config. At the top of the class, as all of you know, by default, we have to first add configuration. Configuration. Two things we needed, guys. What is the two important components? Number one is Redis connection factory to get the connection. Number two, Redis template. Okay. I will say here public. I'll say here Redis connection factory type. Redis connection. Redis connection. I would like to just import it. Redis connection factory. I would like to go back here and try to import. It is getting imported from Spring Data Redis connection Redis factory. Okay. And after which you can add whatever configurations, guys. If you have a personalized Redis server configuration where it is present, right now it is in the local host. So, I mean, I'll be starting here. You need not to do. If you want, you can do here also. And using the, I'll first create the object here and I'll hand over to Spring. I'll say bean. Okay. All the configurations, whatever you want, you can write it. I will say new Redis connection factory imported. Are you getting this, guys? You're not getting the option of import, sir. Redis connection factory. I think this object is already, oh, sorry. I will say here new. I will say here Redis. Let me create a local variable. Using this reference, whatever configurations you want, you can do. Dot, I'll say. So many methods are there. Client name, if you want, database, like get the host, whatever you want, you can perform the operation. You can set the port number also. Okay. Example, it is there in some port number. Most of them are deprecated. The way they are asking you to put it in different ways. So if you want, you can do like this also is what I'm trying to say. Maybe I want this into this port number. All this can be configured, but I want to work with the default current configurations. So directly I'll just get hold of this connection factory. I will just return this object to my Spring container. Okay. With the default configurations. After which we should get hold of this. I will say here public Redis template, string type of key, country type of value. I will say here Redis template. All right. Let me create the instance of Redis template. I'll say Redis template. And I would like to just go back here and say Redis template. Redis template is also coming from where you can see data Redis. Data Redis. Okay. I have created it. And let me add the key value also, that what type of data I want to perform operation with. Okay. And now I will say here Redis template dot set connection factory, and I'll just invoke this method. Using this Redis connect, we are performing the operations. Which connection factory are you using? This connection factory, we are using it. And then I will hand over, I will say a return Redis template. The Spring IO, I'm just returning with my customized string. How to return, how to hand over this object using the bean annotation. Finish. All right, guys, all good so far? Everyone present in the class? Guys, the moment I have told bean, answer me only one part before I proceed with the further coding. Right now, the Spring IOC container has the object of Redis template and Redis connection factory. Is it there? Spring IOC container has both the objects, right? All of you without a doubt would agree with it. Now I'll go back to this service layer. I have told service. I will just create the constructor. Guys, can we perform the dependency injection without auto wiring also, without auto wired annotations? Can we perform? 100% yes. It is interview asked question also. I will get hold of a Redis template. If you have only parameterized constructor, answer me one thing. If you have only parameterized constructor, will there be any zero parameterized constructor by default? No. I will create only parameterized constructor here. I would like to just go back. Okay. I will say here Redis. Let me just import it. Only parameterized constructor I have. And at the time of who will create, if I have told service here, who will create the instance of this class? Spring will create. For Spring to create the instance of this class, don't you think the only constructor which is left out is this? Only constructor. That means Spring has to integrate this Redis template. Now answer me, does Spring has the Redis template object to inject here? I would like to go back here. I will just create the instance of, I'll say a private hash operations, string type of key, object type of data, object type of data. I'll say here ops for hash. Right now it is null. Okay. I'll go back here. I will say Redis, using the Redis object which will be injected by Spring. Same reference I'm using here. I will say dot ops for hash. Hash operation is giving you string, hash key, hash value. Because in the cache memory, the data will represent in the key value pair. Hash key, hash value. I would like to just invoke this method. It will give me a reference. It will give you ops for hash object. I got hold of this. I will just go back here. I got hold of this. Now I have ops for hash. Now using ops for hash, I can perform any of the operation, whether to insert the object in the Redis cache, to retrieve the object, to delete the object, whatever operations you want, you can perform. I would like to first add and see if I could just get connected and perform some operations. I will say here string type of add the country. I will say here, I will accept country type of country data here. I would like to accept this. Okay. And I will just go back here. I will say here dot put. I'm adding this. Okay. It is my key. I'll give it as maybe countries is the key I have given. And what is the value? I'll say here maybe the hash key is country reference variable dot get the special number, get number that gives unique identity, and the actual country object as a value I would like to add. The actual country is a value. I have added this. After adding this, I will just return one string type of message. Whatever message you want, you can add. I will just say here country data added into Redis server. Okay, done. After which I'll just go and create the API, guys. I'll just go here and create one basic API method. I'll create a class. I'll say here maybe country controller. At the top of this class, I'll just go back here and say REST controller. Okay. I'll say private. I'll say private. What is the name of the class? Country service, right? As you all know, we have to auto wire this country service type service layer. And I would like to just go back here. Guys, when the class level mapping is required or advised to use without fail, at what is the situation? Class level URL mapping also, in what case you have to do it? Like, have you seen me using that sometimes, not using that sometimes? Request mapping at the class level. Now they'll ask in the interview when it is highly advisable to use and when you can ignore it. Yes, Vishal, you are 100% right. Whenever we have more than one controller class available in your application, it is highly recommended to add the class level mapping also. Okay. But if you have one controller method, it is not required. It's up to you. I'll go back here and say public. As you know all how to create response entities. What is the significance of response entity? Everyone knows in the class, but I would like to just go with this. I will say here, I would like to go and accept here request body, country type, country. I hope all of you in the class at least understand the entire theme of Spring Boot framework, guys. How to work with RESTful services, data JPA, what is the core functionality of the Spring framework, how applications are built using the Spring Boot. That theme everyone has in your mind. See, becoming versatile is more important because every framework, every technology is so vast that you can spend how much ever time you want, still you will be required more time. Every stack is an ocean. And even after spending 10 years on the same stack, still there will be something which you may have to learn. Learning never stops. The one who is working with Java for 15 years, still learning Java whenever they add new features. And as per the survey recently conducted, 75% of the Java developers don't know the versions above Java 8. 75% of the industry is stuck in which version, guys? Java 8. Why most of the Java developers avoid the upgrade, if you ask me? Java supports backward compatible. Or even if you have Java 28, whatever Java features you already know, unless it is deprecated, can same work even if it is Java 24? Yes, because Java supports backward compatibility. So whatever Java you know, that Java will not be affected unless some things are deprecated. In that case, you have to see what is a better option we have in the new version. That's the case. Okay. Anyway, I will say here service dot add the country I'm adding. The return type is string. The same return type I will just return to the caller of this method. I would like to save this. Okay. First, I have to turn on my servers, guys. I want to turn on the server of Redis. I have already installed. After installing, you have to just extract it. After extracting, uh, Redis. Okay. Guys, see here. Redis server is there. Redis, after installing, I've just extracted it. After extracting, you just go here. There is something called as Redis server. Just double click it. Application. Redis server application. If you want Redis client, it is there. Redis server application, double click, nothing else. The moment you have double click, you are getting this. You can see here. And what is the port number on which it is there? 6379 it seems. Running in standalone mode 6379. Redis server is on now. 19th December 7:51 right now. Now the server is now ready to accept connections on port number 6379. Okay. Now if you want, you can connect the, I'll go back here, and Redis client also. Let me open this. See guys, automatically it is connected. Automatically it is connected on the port number 6379. I'll say here ping pong. See, Redis server is responding you back. I will say set key value pair, right? The keys may be age. The value is 16. Okay. Get age. See, 16 you're getting it. That means, am I able to get connected to Redis cache and just add something? Yes, I could be able to do that using the Redis client also. Are you understanding, guys? Everyone? Let's see now if you could able to get connected. Okay. I would like to just go back. Right click. Run as Spring Boot application. Oops. No class found, no class default found, bean creation exception, failed to initialize, unsatisfied dependency injection. Some dependencies are missing. Redis client also we have to add. Okay. For the Redis implementation, guys. I'll go back to the Google. Redis client is there, no? Latest is this. Versions are not needed because one of the advantage of Spring Boot is automatic version management. One of the advantage of Spring framework is automatic version management, where it will only manage the versions automatically. You need not to mention the versions. I have never mentioned before. Now also this you can skip. I would like to save this, and after saving I'll go to my application. I'll say right click Maven, update the project. Its project is getting updated. Alright guys, project is updated. I'll say right click, I'll say run as Java application. No issues guys. Now application deployed 8484. And what is the endpoints which we have created? It's add country 8484 add country. And what is our model data, guys? What and all we have? Country name, number, name, and country code. No, name, country code. Okay. I'll go back here. My Postman tool. Let's go with some post request. It's a post request. I would like to go here. Okay. It's a post request. It's 8484 / I'll say add country. Go to the body, raw, it's a JSON format data. Three things are there. Number one is number. Number two is name. Number three is country code. Maybe I'll say here. Maybe I'll say here. Country code is maybe 91 and it is whatever you want. I know any data, whatever it could be. Okay. I will hit this, guys. Oops, internal server error. Serialization exception. Are you getting, guys? Serial cannot serialize. It is expecting serializer. Serializer it is expecting means I'll go back to my model class. Where is the model class? This is the model class, right? I'll just go back here and say implements serializable. Implement serializable. Okay. It's a marker interface. A runtime implementation will be given to it. I would like to save this. After save, the application is successfully redeployed. I'll go back and now make a call to it. Guys, country data added into Redis server. Are you getting this? Yes, no, maybe. Which are the two important components used, guys? Which are the two important components used? One is Redis and one is Redis template. Using the Redis template, which object you should get hold of? Ops or hash for the methods to perform any of the operations. All right. Let me see if you could also get some data. I would just like to try. Redis collection of data is what I would like to get it. I will say get all countries, and let me open this. Great. I'll say ops for hash dot. I'll say here entries key. I have to specify what is the key I had given. This is the key, right? Okay, let me just take this key. I would like to just add this key here. I'll say dot, and I would like to just get here as entries. Okay. I would like to just go back here. Okay, it is ready. And then I will say entries, not entries, countries. It's entries dot value. Whatever value I get, I will store in the collection. How much ever objects, not one, two, it could be multiple also. Okay, I'll say here countries. And then I will just return that countries to the caller of this method. I just have to create now API method for this. I'll go back here. I will just write one more for the get mapping. I'll say get. I will say here get country, and I will say here get. No request body is needed. And I will just say here the return type also. I'll do one thing. I'll say collection, which is dealing with object type of data. I would like to just go back here and say service dot get countries or get all countries. I would like to save this. Why add? We don't have this, sir. I'll go back. What is the name of the method, guys? Let me go back. Hot reloading, right? I would like to add the data first of all. I have added the data, and now I would like to fetch the data. I would like to just fetch the data. Okay. I'll say get country is the endpoint. If I hit this, oops, serialization cannot deserialize. Oh, yeah. So this issue is there whenever, because whatever object is stored in the database, guys, is it a normal object or serialized object in the form of key value pair in the Redis cache? Serialized. At the time of retrieving, I have not deserialized, so only at the retriever you got the issue. Okay. No problem, guys. As it is, the data is not stored. That is the reason error at the time of retrieving the data. This concept in the project has been implemented. I will demonstrate for the other operations also. But are we able to get connected to the Redis server and able to perform some operations? Yes. As a Spring Boot developer, can you get connected to Redis cache? Yes, you can get connected. You can perform the operation. And what is the use of Redis cache also? We have seen it. Done. And maybe one more example about the Redis in the project section. I will just demonstrate to you in the Mondays or in the upcoming class, upcoming week. This is about the Redis. How many of you know there is about the Kafka, guys? And how important it is in the microservices? I do. I have an idea. In the last, not recent most, before that, we had a weekday fast track batch for 2 weeks, 8 days of classes within the 2 weeks itself. We had one of the student, Amit, very fortunately, in his career for 6 long years, he was working with Apache Kafka as a developer. And he could able to demonstrate the applications which is he's right now into. Industry application he could able to demonstrate, but right now we don't have Amit in this batch. Okay, that batch he could able to explain how exactly things works. I'm not sure if that lecture I can just play here. Allow me just a minute. Right. He could not give that project to us, of course, by default, because it was his company's project, so that cannot be given, right? So the shortcomings and capture from the class. I'm not sure if this is visible or something to you guys. Start running. So here you can see attempting to get the data from the fast API, data sent to the Kafka topic, data not clear. But are you getting at least the voice or something? So now here you can see our application is running and see the speed of the data that we are having. Little bit only. So now back to from. It's a long discussion he had. Maybe it's fully there. Part I have where I'm just and this is the file and this is the file. I will see if this part of the video we can also get it so that I can upload here also. I will discuss in the class, but continuously 6 years working on major role only for the Kafka part. It's not everyone will do, right, as a developer also. And what he had done is how he exactly he had total of 8 or 11 years or 12 years of experience, and he was here to learn the Spring Boot. At last class, last part, he could able to demonstrate what he usually does, and he could able to had three applications. One is Python application, one is Java applications, and the Kafka server, how the real-time data processing happens and how he had achieved multiple times he could able to demonstrate. Okay, after I have developed the application and demonstrated with the Spring Boot, same only those who could able to understand what I have said, he could able to also demonstrate. Now guys, Apache Kafka itself, we can have 10 days of discussion. It is a very vast topic if you are getting into it. But what I would like to just tell you what exactly this is used for and how this can be integrated with the application which is Spring Boot. Especially in the microservice environment, this is very, very used for the real-time data processing. It is a message broker. Message means data. Broker, the one who takes the data, message from one application to another application in real time. Real time means very fast, current data immediately. Example, India versus Australia, there is a cricket match. And currently, whatever is happening there, you should be able to get it with lowest latency possible. If you want to achieve that, Kafka can be used there. Yes. Yeah, that is what I am asking our team. And no, nothing, not that. Guys, especially in the microservice environment, we develop multiple microservices, right? That means multiple REST APIs. Microservices 1, microservices 2. Yep. Yeah, RabbitMQ is also option, Rajat. Many of them are there. Kafka is little popular. That's it. Okay. So if there is some call to this microservice endpoint, and if there is some data here, immediately with the lowest latency possible, you want the data to be here. Whatever data this application is producing, you want the data to be here immediately with lowest latency. That means no delay should be there. Kafka should be used. The broker which you can trust to give data which you're producing immediately to the consumer, the subscriber, then which broker you can trust? Kafka broker you can trust. You might say that I have some message that I have to talk to Naveen sir. And right now he's not there. And he has lakhs of followers on the Instagram and the LinkedIn. He may get thousands of messages. He may not respond to you. In between, you're using me as a broker. And you might not know whether you can trust me or not. But I'm the only medium wherein you can communicate to me. I can communicate to him right now. That means I'm the broker here to take your message to Naveen sir. Imagine that you are giving some message immediately without any delay. I'm informing to Naveen sir. That is real-time data processing. And between I have been used. Similarly here also. Some data this microservice is producing. Whatever data this is producing, immediately it has to reach to the client without a delay. What is being used, guys? Kafka is being used. Are you getting it? Streaming the data pipelines, exactly. All of you? So we have three important components here. Number one is producer. And we have subscriber. Subscriber means the one who's subscribing the data, consuming the data. Producer means such an application which is actually adding the data. Subscriber means with the lowest latency possible, it is producing the data. So what exactly happens here is, we will have a producer, the one who is going to produce the data. Okay. Producer. We will have a Kafka server. Kafka server. And what happens is, whatever data it is producing, right? Whatever data it is going to publish, we also say publisher. It will immediately publish the data here. And from the Kafka server, you have to subscribe the data within fraction of milliseconds. The application which is going to take the data, consume the data, is called as subscriber. That means this application is subscribing the data. This application is producing the data. The one who's taking the data is called as subscriber application. The one who is adding the data into Kafka server is called as producer application. And if you want this with the lowest latency possible, the data streaming, the data transfer, then Kafka server is being used here. Everyone. And this is also going to be a very interesting application, guys, wherein I will develop such a Spring Boot application which can get connected to Kafka server, which is Apache Kafka server, and produce the data. And one more Spring Boot application will develop immediately, which can subscribe the data, so that you can see two REST APIs, how they transfer the data between them by using the producer subscriber model. Yes. So this is also going to be one of the interesting topic, guys. Uh, Maybe I will be developing the application in upcoming classes to demonstrate Apache Kafka, and also I will add the video which the student had demonstrated in the previous fast track batch, which I could able to just show you in the last part of the class. That was ending. It was 8 days of batch, guys. uh, Monday to 2 weeks, 8 days batch finish. Full day batch it was. Morning 9 to evening 6. Okay. And last part of the class he could able to demonstrate. He was telling when I was discussing, I demonstrated the application is like exactly similar. I have application I would like to demonstrate and run the Kafka and show you how the things happens. Of course, he's not a tutor. He don't have a tutoring experience. So don't expect him to teach you like a step-by-step approach. Your understanding he'll not ask. He has just demonstrated. He has just spoken about it. You just have to grab it. Okay. So I'll ask our team to cut that part and upload it. If not, the whole lecture if can be uploaded in this batch also. Okay. Apart from what I discuss in the same lecture, upcoming week, whichever lecture I discuss now, alongside that lecture, this lecture also will be added into your dashboard, which you can also watch it. Okay. Apart from that, guys, Monday's class, let's have a project discussion, so that you know in during that in the same project, the third party API, a payment gateway integrated association has been implemented. So those two topics which I was talking now, I will discuss. I had kept it pending because I had already implementing that with the team. How the implementation happened in the project directly, the association and the third party API integration, we will understand in the lecture during the project discussion itself, how we have implemented there. Fine. So Monday's class, it will be a meeting, guys, a Zoom meeting, not the webinar. All of you can talk to us continuously, and all of you, we can have an interaction. Make sure all of you are there on time. Don't miss Monday's class. Okay, so that we can see one application. Apart from that, two more applications link I would like to share with you guys. Deserialization you have to achieve. I have implemented that. I will show you, demonstrate that also in the project. Okay. Well, fetching also deserialization needed, because whatever data is getting stored in the Redis cache, it is like serialized object in the form of key value. That's a serialized. And to reconstruct deserialization, uh, I think this batch is a course I've also have discussed directly Spring, guys. For some of them, people have joined only for Spring. Uh, Serialization, deserialization, if I have discussed, great. If not, I think there are lectures which I have recorded also. If it is not uploaded, I'll ask our team to upload it. Okay. I will add that lectures I have recorded. IO topic. I will just first of all cross check. There is some issues in our application also. Anyway. So guys, tomorrow no class. Monday project discussion, and then we shall continue our discussion on the upcoming topics, remaining topics which we have not yet discussed. Okay. Let me go back to Redis server and see. Stand off. how to use Redis cache on service layer, which we perform read, save, read up alongside the same operations should perform on the Redis cache server. We usually don't perform go with the delete, but this same I have implemented in the project also. I'll demonstrate, okay, how things are working there. And Telesco's backend team, at least 2 members will join. We have 5 members in the backend of Telesco. Uh, I'll make sure at least 2 members are also joining. What is that? No, they cannot be used interchangeably. That cannot be done. See, both, as you know, that it is used to identify or give the unique identity for every record, correct? But the purpose is different. UUID purpose is different. Normal ID purpose is different. So, I mean, they cannot be interchangeably used. I mean, they have their own way, the way they work, the structure, the purpose, everything is different, right? Because UUID has a fixed length. It is like based on some specifications. ID is like it can be anything, whatever you want, numeric, string, or whatever you give. Like you can define that. You can do whatever you want as an ID, which can give a unique identity. But UUID is like a universal thing which follows some specifications, some fixed length will be there. So there is a difference. Both cannot be used. It's like totally different things. Do you have dependency to validate the, you know, information like password should be it? We can add the filters and we can do that, Akash. You need not to add some extra dependency for this. Add one filter like the way security filter chain we have added. No, you can do that. Okay. That can be done in the front end also. In the upcoming application, which I'll be discussing on Monday, it has been implemented. You see to it. No, 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 no. Project microservice is not yet done here. I mean, Kafka have not discussed. API gateway have not discussed. Routing, filtering have not discussed. Uh, you know, I have not even discussed about circuit breaker pattern, how to make your application resilient. Microservices overview, I mean, generic idea, all of you have got it. Like admin server, Zipkin server means what? Eureka server, how applications, Fing client. These things are just like little more is there. Next week also full I need if needed. After that also I might need 1 or 2 classes. Gradle I have to do. Okay. So few more things, many more things are there to be discussed. I'll try to take half of an hour extra, or maybe this next Friday I'll try to complete if possible. And microservices recordings are also there, pre-recorded, not the live class recordings, pre-recorded videos of Naveen sir. That also will be uploaded in your dashboard. Apart from what I discuss in the class. React recordings also I'll ask our team. We can use Spring Boot starter validation for validate the post request payload with annotations. In the Java X also we have some of the validation things. Java extensions also we have, which we can use, and we have something called as password validator class that can also be used, Anil Tripathi. We have some annotations and constraints, and there we have to add some password validators. Many things can be done. We have to use some of the, we can create our own enums, or we can create our own annotations, and those annotations can be used. Okay. We can create our own annotations from the Java extension technology, and we can do that. And as you said, in the Spring starter validation also we do have it. Okay, let me just check it. What is this? Yeah, both validation with Hibernate validator. Bean validation with Hibernate validation. That's the only dependency we have. Multipurpose validation. If that is the used, maybe. This dependency also can be used. If not, I'll ask our team to implement this. Okay. Great, Anil Tripathi. So without having to use some extensions or Hibernate validator directly in the Spring Boot also we have this, which internal uses Hibernate validator only. So explicitly is not required. Wonderful. Alright guys, as I've told, tomorrow no class. Plan your weekend, 3 days of weekends accordingly. And Monday early morning, don't miss out. It's a very important discussion. One of the most important class of this entire course. So make sure all of you are there on time exactly at 7 a.m. Monday's class. We shall continue this discussion. Thank you for being with me till the last. It's easy to start the course, not easy to complete it. All of you are finishers. All of you are there till the end. That shows your resilience. That shows how dedicated and determined you are. Appreciate that you are there with me till the end. And I hope we shall go through one more week and discuss few more things about Java, Spring Boot, and microservices. Okay. Everything will be practical. We are going to know nothing. Free only I will use. You need not to pay for it. Okay. I will tell you. Building overview also I'll discuss about the AWS, how things works there. Alright guys, thank you. Thank you every one of you. We shall meet on Monday and continue the discussion. Thank you all. Thank you so much, Manitang. Thank you every one of you.